Misty and her freckles visit a tanning salon just once a week, where she now opts for a new UV-free tanning system.
That's our living. We're ranchers, and we'll see what it does to us.
This is a scene of desperation in this area. Because feeding is so expensive, many ranchers have turned to burning the needles from the cactus just to feed their cattle.
And the emotion, experience, it's just hard to explain. But I'm glad we did it. It's a healing that not just the Vietnam veteran feels, but the American people. And I'm proud to be a part of it.
Joint Commission's looking at ongoing record review for open record review while the patient is still in the house.
Out the window, I could see the entire floor above us was totally engulfed in fire and was rolling down, literally was rolling down to the floor where we were at. Everybody kind of looked, everybody kind of hesitated for a second, then over the radio, our battalion and everybody that was on the ground started yelling, "Get out, get out."
They're so hard for people who do not experience them to understand what is actually going on.
For someone who's very busy, like a young mother with children, they have special events, whether it's a wedding coming up, something along those lines, they can be in and out of the salon the day before the event and have a great looking tan.
Most women, if you ask them, and it might be mental, but we even feel a little toner and thinner if we have a nice tan.
We meet once a month, and everyone from each discipline comes to the general session. We provide an orientation, and then during the monthly review, whatever the topic is, we'll have another mini orientation about that topic to train the reviewers on what they need to look for in the documentation review.
About this time, Chief Joe Talbert arrives on the scene.
As I looked up in the building, I watched it literally go bad. Flames started erupting out of the windows on the north side of the building, and they began to rapidly, and I mean very rapidly, progress to the south end of the building.
And that's when it pretty much exploded on us, and it was quite an experience.
Well, we started walking actually towards the staircase, and then we heard a little bit more, and then it was time to, let's run, let's get out of here fast.
As we were getting to the stairwell, myself and Captain Doyle from the squad were the last ones off the floor. I kind of glanced back over my shoulder, and right where we had been standing at was now starting to collapse already and was fully involved in fire.
The thought that was running through my mind was not if we had any firefighter fatalities, but just how many we did have.
The roof in the 5th floor came down probably while the crews were exiting the 3rd floor.
Floor started, we could hear them pancaking. I mean, just one right after another.
The entire stairwell on the 3rd floor just filled with black smoke, and then it just ignited orange right over us. And we were running downstairs that time. We were probably doing 3 steps at a time.
As we made our way down, and the door we came in was blocked off, we could not exit that way out.
Instead, they're forced to run to an exit on the opposite side of the 1st floor.
At that time, we know that Lieutenant Green was not with us, and he was up on the floor with us.
Attempts to raise Green on the radio produce no answer.
You know, your heart rate goes up 100 beats as soon as you know you got a man missing.
Well, my next guest unexpectedly had a seizure while driving her family, and her 11-year-old daughter had to take control of the situation and take a look at this.
We were coming from a fast food restaurant, and my mom was driving. All of a sudden, she just started shaking erratically, and I didn't know what was wrong.
The last thing I remember was getting up onto the highway. My daughter was in the far back seat, and she said that I had began shaking.
We started scraping against the guardrail, and I was getting kind of scared, so I jumped up, grabbed the wheel, and I jerked it off the guardrail.
She had pulled us over at the first grassy patch that she could find and, you know, jumped the curb, slammed it into park, grabbed the phone and called 911. And I didn't come to until the police were pulling up behind us.
I thought that if I didn't do something, that if we died, it would all be my fault.
I feel very, very blessed to have a daughter that was able to think so quickly.
Please welcome Wendy to the show.